Okay, now we come to Unit 7, which is on index notation. Write each of the following in simplest index notation. And of course, question 1a, P times P times P times P times P. It's been multiplied 5 times, so P to the power of 5. In B, you've got Q times Q times Q times Q times Q times Q. That's been done 6 times, so Q to the power of 6. Question 2, write each of the following in expanded form. You're going to write this out 5 times. Okay. Question 3, find the value of each of the following when x is 3 and y is 2. This is continuing on from the last section on, which is on substitution. Okay, so question 3a, x squared. Well, we've been told that x is 3, so it's 3 squared, which is 9. B, x to the power of 6. Again, it's going to be 3 to the power of 6. You need a calculator for that, because the question says find the value, so you've got to find the actual answer. In C, what we have in C is x times y cubed, so x times y cubed, which is 3 times, now 2 cubed is 8, so 3 times 8, which gives you 24, and so on and so on. So really that there is a continuation of the last section. Question 4, write each of the following in simplest index notation. Well, 4a is 15 times a times a times a is 15a cubed. Okay. Let's move on now to question G down the bottom. Okay. Right. 4 times y times 3 times y times y. Well, because everything is being multiplied, you're allowed to do 4 times 3 first, which is 12. And now multiply all the y's. So 12y cubed. Remember, when things are being multiplied, the order doesn't matter. For example, I could say to you 5 times 2, your answer would be 10. And I can say to you 2 times 5, your answer will also be 10. So if you get a question like G, really if I want to, I'm allowed to rewrite the question as 4 times 3, so bring that 3 over here, then multiply all the y's together. No problem. And that'll give you 12y cubed. Okay. Again, the rest of the page is on substitution, continuing on from the last section. Let's have a look now at multiplying, dividing, and expanding. Okay. Let me go through question 1a. 2 times 3x is 6x. B, 4 times 5a is 20a. C, minus 2 times 4y is minus 8y. D, x times x is x squared. Okay, let's go to question 2 now. Divide these expressions. I always like, whenever you have division in algebra, I always prefer to rewrite it like this, 9x divided by 3. So now you divide that by 3 and get 3. Divide this by 3 and get 1. And now 3x over 1 is 3x. Okay. 12k divided by k. The k's cancel. And you get 12 over 1, which is 12. Why do I like doing it that way? I'll show you why. Because if you get a question, I'll make up my own question here. Let's say you get 3k divided by 12k. Okay. By rewriting the question as 3k divided by 12k like this, what you can do is you can cancel the k's, and now 3 over 12, you know from fractions experience, divide that by 3 and get 1, divide that by 3 and get 4, you end up with a quarter. If you don't write it like this, you're much more likely to make a mistake if you try and go straight from here to the answer. So I recommend always rewriting the question like this. It's much easier. Let's have a look at question 2h. 5m divided by 5m. 5m divided by 5m. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. Let's have a look at k. 9x squared divided by 9x. Okay. Now x squared up the top and x down the bottom. Let me show you the long way and then I'll show you the shortcut. X squared up the top and x down the bottom. Let's say you rewrote the x squared up the top as x times x. And you left the bottom as it is. Now watch this. If you cancel one of these with one of these, what are you left with? You're left with x up the top. The shortcut method is, you can learn this if you like, when you're dividing, so you got x squared divided by x, you can always do that power minus that power, or this power is 1 here. Okay, it always works. For example, if you've got x to the power of 50 over x to the power of 20, it's x to the power of, you can do 50 take away 20, which is 30. Let's have a look at 3m, this one over here. 12xy divided by 3y divided by 2. First I would focus on doing this. Let's do 12xy divided by 3y first and get our answer. Y and y cancel. You're left with 4x. So the answer to this is 4x. And now we're going to do 4x divided by 2, which is going to give us 2x. Okay, expand the following expressions. This is very important. Having a look at this, please. Question 4a means, if I write this out in a slightly expanded format, let's just say, I'm not suggesting that you do the questions like this, I'm just showing you what this question means. This question really means 2 times everything inside the brackets. Let me repeat that, please. 2 times everything inside the brackets. So what you must do to answer this question is do 2 times a, which is 2a, and you stop. And now you must do 2 times the 3b, which is plus 6b, and you stop. Even if I gave you a question, and I'll write my own question up here, even if I said to you, even if I gave you a question like this, what, and I ask you to expand it, it's 2 times this, then 2 times this, and then 2 times this, and then 2 times this, and then 2 times this. 2 times everything inside the brackets. So let's have a look. 2 times a is 2a. And now stop. Don't write any pluses or any minuses, just stop, please. Now 2 times 3b is 6b. So you're going to write down plus 6b and stop. Next one, 2 times 2m is plus 4m, and you stop. Next one, 2 times minus 4L. Now what's 2 times minus 4? It's minus 8. So minus 8L. Next one, 2 times 7x is 14x. Okay, and you're finished. So I think you get the idea now. If I'm going to go through and do any questions here, let's do these ones over here on the bottom right hand side. A times a cubed, or a is like saying a to the power of 1. So a to the power of 1 times a to the power of 3 is a to the power of 4, and you stop. And now a times minus 7 is minus 7a. Nine times 5p is 45p, and you stop. And 9 times minus 6 is minus 54. Next one, 10 times 5a is 50a, and you stop. And 10 times minus 9b is minus 90b, and you stop. Okay, so I hope that helps and it makes sense. As always, practice makes perfect, and algebra is one of those topics you've got to do as many questions as you possibly can to become really competent. I wish you the best of luck, and I look forward to working with you closely.